She smiled through the pain, but fans noticed the moment Irene's outfit betrayed her on stage. One wrong move, one viral GIF, and it changed how she performed forever. This is the dark side of K-pop fashion. K-pop is dazzling on the surface, flashing lights, glittering stages, and jaw-dropping outfits. But behind that sparkle lies something no one talks about enough: the discomfort, the pressure, and sometimes the humiliation that idols endure for the sake of fashion. From ill-fitting costumes to designs that push boundaries too far, K-pop's obsession with aesthetics often comes at a painful cost, both physically and mentally. So today we're pulling back the curtain on the dark side of K-pop styling, the moments idols looked stunning on stage but secretly wished they could just breathe. When the subject of idols looking uncomfortable on stage comes up, one of the first names that fans often mention is Red Velvet's Irene. She's admired for her elegance and professionalism, but she's also someone who has been put in situations where her styling choices seemed to work against her. Over the years, fans have noticed her constantly adjusting her outfits, appearing more preoccupied with her clothes than the choreography itself. Have you ever watched a performance and thought, why is she fiddling with her outfit so much? That's exactly what happened with Irene, and it's not because she lacks talent. She's one of the most respected idols of her generation, yet styling made her job harder, not easier. And as bad as Irene's situation was, it didn't stop there, because what happened next showed fans that this wasn't just one unlucky outfit. It was an entire system built to prioritize image over comfort. And Irene isn't the only one. This issue of uncomfortable outfits has been around in K-pop for decades, affecting idols from different groups, companies, and even generations. The sad reality is that it doesn't just happen with established idols. It starts as early as when some idols debut as minors. Let's start with the viral example of Irene. Years ago, a GIF of her dancing spread online after being zoomed in and slowed down on a male-dominated community forum. The post exaggerated a normal performance into something inappropriate, and it gained traction. One fan wrote, "You could see Irene pulling at her top every few seconds. How can anyone focus on performing when they're that uncomfortable?" Another commented, "It's not fashion if it makes the performer anxious." Those comments echoed across forums, proving this wasn't just nitpicking. Fans were genuinely heartbroken watching someone so talented feel restricted by her own outfit. One fan wrote, "You could see Irene pulling at her top every few seconds. How can anyone focus on performing when they're that uncomfortable?" Another commented, "It's not fashion if it makes the performer anxious." Those comments echoed across forums, proving this wasn't just nitpicking. Fans were genuinely heartbroken watching someone so talented feel restricted by her own outfit. Afterward, fans noticed Irene becoming far more self-conscious when she performed, constantly adjusting her clothes and moving with hesitation. Imagine being in front of thousands of fans, doing your job, while knowing that every move might be twisted online into something degrading. That's not the kind of pressure anyone should have to deal with, yet it's something idols face all the time. But if Irene's case made you uncomfortable, wait till you hear what happened to Joy, where even her shoes became a safety hazard on stage. Red Velvet's Joy has faced her share of discomfort too. Early in her career, stylists carefully layered her skirts to match her tall proportions. But in recent years, her outfits have gotten shorter and tighter, paired with uncomfortable shoes that don't match her members. One particular pair of heels became infamous among fans because of their awkward, pointy design. Fans joked they looked like a witch's nose, but beneath the jokes was a genuine frustration. One fan even said, "She's smiling through pain. You can see it in her steps." Another added, "Why give her the hardest choreography and the most uncomfortable shoes?" What started as light teasing turned into an outcry for better treatment from stylists. How many of you have noticed idols wearing heels that look impossible to dance in? The problem stretches far beyond Red Velvet. Mamaland's styling has long been a point of controversy among K-pop fans, and for good reason. Their stylist was heavily criticized for failing to provide some members with safety shorts, something that should be considered a basic necessity for female performers who are dancing under bright lights on elevated stages. Fans were outraged, not only because the lack of safety precautions seemed careless, but also because it created a situation where members were left vulnerable. Some fans went even further, speculating that this wasn't just an accident or oversight. They suggested that perhaps it was done intentionally as a way to attract more attention to the group. After all, the members who ended up with the most uncomfortable and revealing outfits were often the visuals of Mamaland, the ones pushed to the front in terms of looks. While no one can confirm whether this was really the case, the idea alone left fans upset because it highlighted just how little control idols might have over their own image. And then came another incident that sparked fury. Former member Yeonwoo once wore shorts that were so small they cut into her skin, leaving leaving visible imprints. But here's the question everyone keeps asking: why does this keep happening? The truth is, K-pop styling isn't just about fashion, it's a machine built on visuals. Stylists and management teams are under constant pressure to grab attention with every stage, every fan cam, every thumbnail. So comfort comes second, headlines come first, and idols, especially rookies, rarely have the power to say no. It's not that stylists are villains, it's that the entire system rewards spectacle over safety, and that's where the problem begins. Fans theorized that perhaps she was forced to wear a smaller size so the shorts would appear snug and stylish on stage. But wearing clothes that are too tight can be downright dangerous, restricting blood circulation and causing injuries. It raises an important question. Is the industry prioritizing looks over the health and comfort of its performers? And just when fans thought companies had learned their lesson, another styling disaster hit, this time in 2024, and it involved one of the biggest girl groups in the world. Even in recent years, the issue hasn't gone away. Let's bring this into the now with a case that's fresh in K-pop fans' minds: Sana's outfit during Strategy. In December 2024, Sana wore a dress for the Strategy stage that had a dramatic open-back lace design and was very short. As the performance progressed, the dress rode up, exposing not only her undergarments, but also raising questions about her safety shorts, which themselves didn't fully stay in place. Netizens quickly dubbed it a styling misstep. Some openly questioned the choice of outfit given the choreography involved, pointing out that even with safety shorts, the risk of exposure was high. What's more telling is how the media gaming of content responded. Sana's fan cam was removed or hidden on the KBS channel, whereas the other members' fan cams stayed visible. It's one of those times where fans read between the lines. Was Sana uncomfortable? On social media, one fan wrote, "The moment she tugged at the dress, I knew she wasn't okay. Why didn't anyone fix it before the stage?" Another said, "Sana's a professional, but she shouldn't have to fight her outfit while performing." Even non-fans agreed that it wasn't bold styling. It was carelessness disguised as fashion. Did the company or stylist decide to take it down to avoid further backlash? In fan conversations, some defended her, saying an idol of her seniority might choose bold fashion, but most blamed the styling, the misfitting safety shorts, the risky cut, the design incompatible with dynamic movement. This example holds weight because it's recent, and it shows the tension between performance, stage outfits, and the reality of movement. It proves that even for a well-established group like Twice, the issue is still happening. But here's the scary part. This isn't an isolated mistake. It's part of a pattern that fans keep noticing over and over again, across generations. Now, not every group has had such extreme issues. Take G-Friend, for example. They didn't often appear in headlines for uncomfortable outfits, but their fans still noticed questionable choices from their stylists. One frequent complaint was that the skirts given to the members were sometimes shorter than their safety shorts. This created an awkward and ironic situation where the very clothing meant to protect them was sticking out more than the actual stage outfits. It seemed careless and unnecessary, and it distracted from the polished image the group was known for. And if you look across the industry, a troubling pattern appears. In nearly every group, there always seems to be that one member who consistently gets the shortest dress or the tightest outfit. Fans notice, and it sparks the same question every time. Why them? Even groups that are praised for their fashion sense aren't immune to these issues. Blackpink, for instance, is globally recognized as one of the best-dressed groups in the world. For the most part, their outfits suit them incredibly well, striking the balance between edgy, trendy, and glamorous. But even they've had moments where styling has caused real discomfort. At the 2018 Melon Music Awards, their stage outfits were undeniably stunning, but the members didn't look comfortable. Rosé suffered a wardrobe malfunction, and Jennie was caught on camera struggling with her shorts. The outfits may have looked dazzling on the outside, but what fans saw was that the members themselves were uneasy. AOA is another group where styling became a heated topic of discussion, particularly because of their concept changes. At one point, their company leaned heavily into more provocative themes, dressing the members in outfits that sexualized ordinary jobs, such as nurses, police officers, secretaries, and so on. While these looks got attention, many fans were left wondering, were the members themselves actually comfortable in these clothes? Over the years, there were more than a few moments where the discomfort showed through their expressions and body language. For smaller companies, the problem can be even worse. Groups without big budgets or without the protection of an established fan base are often the ones given the riskiest outfits. Some fans believe this is done on purpose, a desperate attempt to stand out and gain attention in a saturated market. These idols are often put in clothes that are not only revealing, but also poorly made, flimsy, or ill-fitting. Instead of giving them the confidence to perform, these outfits make them more vulnerable, creating a vicious cycle where they're forced to sell an image rather than their actual talent. And the question arises, if these clothes are so uncomfortable, why do idols wear them at all? all? The answer isn't simple. In most cases, idols don't get a say in what they wear. The outfits are decided by the company, the stylists, and the concept planners. Alice, a member of Hello Venus, once openly requested a change to her outfit because it was too difficult to perform in. Her request was ignored. Think about that. A performer telling her company that her clothing was interfering with her ability to do her job and still being denied. It shows just how little power idols have over something as personal as the clothes on their own bodies. It's important to make one thing clear. This isn't about shaming idols for wearing revealing clothes. Many idols actually enjoy bold fashion in their personal lives and wear revealing styles with pride and confidence. The problem isn't the clothing itself. It's the lack of choice. It's the fact that idols are often pushed into outfits that make them feel exposed or uncomfortable rather than being given the freedom to decide for themselves. There are idols who prove that when you have that freedom, the difference is clear. Amber of FX, Hyun A, and Jessie are prime examples of performers who take ownership of their style. They wear what they want when they want, and it shows in the way they command the stage. Their confidence doesn't come from the clothes being revealing, but it comes from the clothes matching who they are. And then there's Mamamoo, perhaps the best example of how empowering idols in styling can completely change the game. From the very beginning, Mamamoo stood out as a group that radiated confidence, both in their music and in their image. Unlike many other groups, they actually participate in the decision-making process when it comes to outfits. This collaboration between idols and stylists means that what they wear on stage isn't just about fitting a concept, it's about fitting the members themselves. Hwasa, in particular, has become a trailblazer. She's not just breaking beauty standards, she's creating her own. Hwasa has worn outfits that many consider daring, but the key difference is that they were her choice. And when you see her perform, there's no hesitation, no tugging at straps or pulling down skirts. There's only confidence. Solar has also had her moments where fans speculated she looked uncomfortable, like when she closed her blazer while accepting an award. But in reality, this wasn't about discomfort. It was about respect and anticipating public criticism. On stage, Solar wore what she wanted and looked powerful doing it. Closing her blazer off stage was simply her way of adapting to the situation. And then there's Moonbyul, who proves that confidence doesn't require showing skin at all. Her nickname is literally Conservative Moon because she prefers more modest, covered-up looks. She's proof that beauty and charisma don't depend on how much skin you show. It depends on owning your image and being comfortable in your own clothes. The contrast is stark. When idols are forced into outfits that don't fit them, whether literally in size or figuratively in personality, it shows. They fidget, they look uneasy, and fans notice. But when idols are given a say, when they're able to embrace their style as an extension of themselves, the result is electrifying. Their performances become more powerful, their presence more magnetic. But here's where things take a darker turn. Because while some idols are finally gaining control over their image, others, especially minors, are being robbed of that control completely. Even though minors are supposed to be carefully protected in the high-pressure world of K-pop, that isn't always the case. Take Baby Monster's Chiquita as an example. She debuted at just 13 years old, and fans immediately noticed how her styling often mirrored that of her much older members. Short skirts, crop tops, inappropriate zoom-ins, and stage outfits that many felt were inappropriate for her age. Chiquita isn't the only one. Throughout K-pop history, minors have been put in outfits that many fans feel cross the line, with clothes that are shorter, tighter, or more revealing compared to what would be considered appropriate for someone under 18. But thankfully, not every company turns a blind eye. Some actually listened, endured, and started to change the system from the inside. This isn't just about clothes being impractical. It's about the sexualization of children in an industry that thrives on visuals. Minors are often expected to wear the same styles as adults, even though their age, maturity, and legal protections should make them exceptions. Fans often call out companies for this, arguing that young idols deserve more careful, age-appropriate styling that emphasizes their talent, not their bodies. There's also a mental health angle here. Being sexualized at a young age, sometimes without even realizing it, can cause long-term discomfort and insecurity. Many idols debut as teenagers who are still figuring out who they are, and being dressed in ways that draw inappropriate attention only adds to that pressure. Thankfully, there are some positive examples. HYBE, for instance, has been praised in certain cases for protecting the younger members of groups like New Jeans and LE Seraphim. Instead of putting minors in overly revealing clothing, HYBE often opts for youthful, age-appropriate looks, casual streetwear, sporty outfits, or school-inspired styles that feel fresh and stylish without being sexualized. Fans applauded how New Jeans' early styling leaned into a Y2K aesthetic that felt fun and innocent while still trendy. It showed that it's entirely possible to create a strong fashion identity without crossing uncomfortable boundaries. Another good example comes from JYP Entertainment. When ITZY debuted, the members were teenagers, but their styling leaned heavily on sporty, performance-friendly outfits. Cargo pants, sneakers, crop jackets, and bold accessories became their image, clothes that matched their youthful energy without putting them in overly revealing outfits. Fans noticed how this allowed them to focus on their powerful choreography without constantly adjusting their clothes or worrying about wardrobe malfunctions. It wasn't perfect, but it showed an effort to keep things both stylish and comfortable. This contrast highlights the deeper issue. It's not about whether an outfit is revealing or modest. It's about whether it fits the idol's age, comfort, and personal style. Adults like Hyuna, Jessie, or Hwasa might thrive in bold body-hugging outfits because that's who they are and what they choose. But minors like Chiquita shouldn't be expected to wear the same things, just because they fit a concept. And while it's tempting to blame stylists directly, the reality is more complicated. Stylists often work under enormous pressure, racing against time to create dozens of stage outfits while balancing company expectations and fan demands. In many cases, the real decisions come from higher-level executives and managers who dictate what image they want the group to portray. That said, stylists can still make a difference. Lovelyz' stylist, for instance, earned widespread praise for prioritizing comfort and safety by providing underskirts and extra layers. That small detail allowed the members to focus on their dancing, not their clothes. Other companies have also shown improvement over time. Twice, for example, was often criticized in their rookie days for awkward or ill-fitting outfits. But in recent years, their wardrobe has improved significantly, with clothes that highlight their individual charms while still being practical for their intense choreography. So after all these stories, one question remains. What will it take for K-pop to finally put comfort before concept? Ultimately, this entire issue boils down to one truth. Idols are not mannequins. They're performers, athletes in their own right, who deserve to feel confident and safe on stage. Whether it's Irene tugging at her outfit, Joy in impractical heels, or a minor like Chiquita being dressed in clothes too mature for her age, these examples highlight a systemic issue in K-pop styling. The solution isn't complicated. Idols should be given more say in what they wear, and companies should treat minors with greater care, ensuring their outfits are age-appropriate. When idols are comfortable, it shows. Their performances are stronger, their confidence shines, and the connection with fans feels more genuine. K-pop is about music, charisma, and stage presence, not about putting performers in clothes that distract them or endanger their well-being. The industry has the power to change this. Groups like Mamamoo, New Jeans, and ITZY have already shown that comfort, confidence, and style can go hand in hand. If more companies follow their example, idols won't just look good on stage, they'll feel good too. And maybe then the focus will finally shift back to what it should have been all along: the music and the artistry, not the length of a skirt or the cut of a dress. The lights fade, the music quiets, and the performance ends, but the struggle behind the stage often goes unnoticed. When idols are allowed to wear what fits their style and comfort, the results are electric, unforgettable, and pure performance magic. Next time you watch a K-pop stage, notice how they carry themselves. Which groups do you think get this balance right? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more behind-the-scenes K-pop stories that the cameras don't always show.